The encounter Captain Jason walked slowly into the silent chamber. The room was huge. Made of blue stone that glowed softly, strange symbols moved across the walls like living words. He felt small standing there. Behind him, the metal door closed. With a loud thud. He knew his team was somewhere outside, fighting to stay alive. But in that moment, he could only focus on what was in front of him. In the center of the room stood an alien woman. She was tall, her skin pale silver. Long dark hair fell over her shoulders. Her eyes were bright red, like burning coals. She wore armor that looked like it had grown over her body. Black and smooth, it moved when she breathed. A long spear rested in her hands. The tip glowed with cold blue light. She did not speak at first. She only watched him with eyes that did not blink. Jason raised his hand slowly to show he had no weapon ready. "I don't want to fight you," he said. His voice calmed. She tilted her head. Her voice was deep and soft, but it carried through the chamber. "Who are you?" He swallowed. "I'm Captain Jason Hale. I came here with my team. We thought this place was empty." Her grip on the spear tightened. "You were wrong," she said. He tried to take a slow step forward. "Please, we didn't come to hurt anyone. We only came to learn." She did not move. Her eyes locked on his. "You should have stayed away," she said. Jason took a breath. "We didn't know," he said. She lifted the spear and pointed it at his chest. "That is not an excuse," she whispered. The spear began to hum. Blue light grew brighter along the shaft. Jason could feel the power in it. He knew it could kill him in one heartbeat. He kept his hands up. "I'm just human," he said quietly. The woman's eyes narrowed. Her voice was almost sad when she spoke next. "Exactly what we feared." Jason felt a cold shiver run down his back. "What does that mean?" he asked. She did not answer. Instead, she stepped closer. He saw that her armor was not metal, it was alive. Small lines of light moved under the surface like veins. She stopped only a few steps away. The spear hovered near his heart. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Jason tried to find the right words. "You don't have to do this," he said. Softly, "I don't want a war." Her face did not change. "Your kind always says that," she replied, "until you take what you want." He shook his head. "I'm not here to take anything." Her voice grew colder. "Then why are you here?" He thought of his team outside, trapped behind sealed doors. He thought of the mission reports that had called this place abandoned. He thought of all the times humans had found something and claimed it without asking. "I came to see what was left," he said honestly. "I wanted to understand." Her eyes studied his face, searching for lies. "To understand," she repeated. "Yes," he said. Her grip on the spear did not loosen. Outside the chamber, a distant explosion shook the walls. Dust fell from the ceiling. Jason turned his head for just a moment. When he looked back, she had moved even closer. He could see his reflection in her red eyes. "Your people are already breaking what they do not own," she said. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "Sorry does not change the past," she said. He felt his heart beating fast. He knew he could try to fight her, but he also knew he would not win. So he did the only thing he could. He lowered his hands. "Then, tell me what you want me to do," he said. Her eyes widened just a little. "You will come with me," she said. "Where?" "To see why your kind should have never come here," she said. Before he could answer, she touched the spear to his chest. Cold energy rushed through him. His vision went black. When he opened his eyes, he was standing in a different place. Huge towers burned in the distance. Black ships flew overhead, raining fire on the ground. He looked down at his hands. They were still human. But everything around him was not. Her voice came from beside him, quiet and sad. "This is what humans did when they first came," she said. Jason turned to look at her. And for the first time, he wondered if he was the monster in her story. The prisoner Jason stood in the middle of a burning city. Black smoke curled into the sky. Tall towers fell in slow, heavy pieces. Fire poured from cracks in the ground. He could feel heat on his face. But when he looked down, his body was untouched. He turned in a circle, trying to understand. "What is this?" he asked, his voice shaking. The alien woman stood beside him. Her armor glowed in the red light of the fires. "A memory," she said. "My memory." He watched as dark ships moved overhead. They looked almost human, but sharper, more cruel. The ships fired again. A wall of flame rolled through the streets, swallowing everything. "This happened a long time ago," she said. Humans did this? Jason asked, feeling sick. Yes, she said simply. He wanted to look away, but he could not. Children ran through the smoke. People fell and did not rise again. He swallowed hard. I didn't know. He whispered. None of you ever do, she said. The fires faded. The towers disappeared. The world around them went dark. Then, with a sudden flash of light, he was back in the blue stone chamber. He dropped to his knees, gasping for breath. His heart felt too big for his chest. She stood over him, her spear in her hand again. Now you have seen, she said. He looked up at her. I'm sorry, he said. Her eyes were cold. Sorry is not enough, she replied. Before he could move, she lifted the spear. A beam of white light shot from the tip and wrapped around him. It pulled him off the floor and floated him across the chamber. He struggled, but the light held him tight. She turned and walked ahead of him. The walls parted silently as she moved. They entered another room. This one was smaller and darker. In the center stood a cage made of the same white light. The beam pushed Jason forward until he was inside the cage. Then it vanished, dropping him to the floor. He looked around, breathing hard. The walls of the cage were smooth as glass. When he touched them, his hand went numb. She stood outside the cage, watching him. You will stay here, she said. Please, he said, rising slowly. You don't have to do this. I do, she said. He pressed his hand against the barrier. What are you going to do to me? He asked. Nothing, she said, unless you force my hand. Jason shook his head. My team, they'll be looking for me, he said. Yes, she replied. If they come, there will be more fighting, he said. Yes, she repeated, her voice flat. He swallowed. Then let me talk to them, he begged. I can stop this. She tilted her head. You think you have power here? I think I have a chance, he said. Her red eyes studied his face for a long time. Finally, she spoke. Humans always think they can talk their way out, she said. But words did not save my people. What will? Jason asked softly. She did not answer. Instead, she turned and walked away. As she left, the walls closed behind her. He was alone. He sank to the floor and put his head in his hands. He felt tired in a way he had never felt before. Time passed. He did not know how long he sat there. Sometimes he heard footsteps outside. Other times, only silence. He tried to think of a plan, but his mind was full of images of burning towers and crying children. Finally, he heard the door open. He lifted his head. She stepped inside again. She looked at him for a long time without speaking. Then she walked up to the edge of the cage. You say you are not like them, she said. I'm not, he said. Prove it, she whispered. How? He asked. She lifted her hand. A small blue light appeared in her palm. Take this, she said. He looked at the light, unsure. What is it? Truth, she said. He stood slowly and reached out. When his hand touched the light, he felt something sharp in his mind, like a blade sliding into his thoughts. He gasped. What are you doing? He choked. I will see your memories, she said calmly. He wanted to pull away, but he could not move. Images of his past flickered in front of his eyes. His home, his family, his missions. Every fear, every hope, every secret. He felt exposed and small. Finally, the light vanished. He fell to his knees, panting. She looked at him in silence. You believe you are different, she said softly. He looked up, his voice raw. I am, he whispered. Her red eyes narrowed. We will see, she said, and she turned away again, leaving him alone in the cold blue light. The escapist sat on the cold floor of the cage. His heart still beat too fast. He could not forget how it felt when she looked into his mind. It was like she had taken all his secrets and held them in her hands. He pressed his palm against the smooth wall. It felt warm now, almost alive. I have to get out, he whispered to himself. Outside the cage, the room was silent. He could see the door where she had left. He thought of his team. They were still trapped somewhere in this place. They needed him. He closed his eyes and took a slow breath. He would not give up. He stood and walked around the cage, touching every side. When his fingers pressed the back wall, he felt something different. A soft vibration under his hand. He pressed harder. The vibration grew stronger. Maybe, he thought. He pulled off his glove and placed his bare hand on the wall. The cage responded. A blue light glowed under his skin. His heartbeat quickened. He pushed with all his strength. Pain shot up his arm, but he did not stop. The light grew brighter, spreading across the wall in thin cracks. Suddenly, the cage flickered. He felt the barrier weaken. He stepped back, breathing hard. Then he charged forward and slammed his shoulder into the wall. The barrier shattered like glass. He stumbled out into the open room. For a moment, he just stood there, shocked he was free. Then he heard a sound, footsteps. He turned and saw the door sliding open. The alien woman stepped through, her spear in her hand. Her eyes locked on him. "You broke the cage," she said quietly. "I had to," Jason said. Her face was still. "You are dangerous," she whispered. "No," he said. "I am just trying to survive." She stepped closer, raising the spear. He lifted his hands. "Please," he said. "If you wanted to kill me, you would have done it already." Her red eyes narrowed. "Do not test me," she said. He took a step back. His foot touched something cold. He looked down and saw a small round device on the floor. He realized it was part of the cage system. An idea came to him. He dropped to one knee and grabbed the device. The woman moved fast, the spear's tip at his throat in a second. "Put it down," she ordered. Jason met her eyes. "I can't," he said. He pressed the button on the side of the device. The lights in the room flickered. The walls vibrated. Alarms began to wail. The spear touched his skin, but she did not strike. "What have you done?" she demanded. "I turned off your power," he said. "The cages, the doors, all of it." She stared at him. For a moment, he thought she would kill him. Then she pulled the spear back slowly. "Fool," she said. He stood up, still holding the device. "Now we both have no control," he said. She looked around the room as the alarms grew louder. "You don't understand what you have done," she whispered. "Then explain," he said. Her jaw tightened. "When the systems shut down, the sealed chambers open," she said, and her red eyes met his. "The others will wake," she said softly. He frowned. "What others?" "The Guardians," she said. He felt a cold fear settle in his chest. "Are they like you?" Her voice was low. "No," she said. "They do not speak. They only kill." The floor shook under their feet. Somewhere far away, a deep roar echoed through the halls. Jason looked at her, his throat tight. "Then we need to move," he said. She did not answer. For a moment, she just watched him with those bright red eyes. Then she nodded. "Double quotes come," she said. She turned and walked out the door. Jason followed, gripping the small device in his hand. He did not know if he had made things better or worse, but at least he was not locked in a cage anymore. They moved quickly down a long corridor. Blue lights flickered on and off above them. The walls shook with every roar that came closer. "What are they?" Jason asked as they ran. "Machines," she said, "built to end all threats." He swallowed. "Can they be stopped?" "Only if we reach the control core," she said. He looked ahead, his jaw set. "Then we go there," he said. She glanced back at him. Her eyes were unreadable. "You are not like the others," she said quietly. Before he could reply, the floor split open behind them, and a huge black hand reached out of the crack. The chased black hand clawed its way out of the floor. Metal fingers, longer than Jason's arm, dug into the blue stone. The alien woman spun around, spear held tight. "Run," she said calmly. Jason took a step back. Then the hand pulled itself higher. A massive body rose from the cracked black armor, smooth as glass. To red eyes open on its head. They glowed like coals. "What is that?" Jason asked, voice shaking. "A guardian," she whispered. The creature turned its head toward them. Then it moved fast. The woman grabbed Jason's arm and pulled him down a side corridor. The guardian's hand slammed into the floor where Jason had just stood. Blue sparks flew everywhere. The walls cracked. The floor buckled. They ran. Jason's boots pounded the ground. The woman moved like shadow, her armor flowing over her body. Behind them, the guardian roared. The sound was deep, so strong. Jason felt it in his bones. "How many are there?" he gasped. "More," she said. "How many more?" "Enough," she said softly. He did not ask again. They turned a corner and almost ran into another black shape. This one was smaller, but moved on for legs. Long blades jutted from its back. It saw them and leapt forward. The woman raised her spear. A blast of blue energy fired from the tip. It struck the creature in the chest. The guardian flipped over and crashed into the wall, but it did not stay down. Its red eyes flickered back to life. "Keep moving," she ordered. She ran ahead, her spear glowing. Jason followed, his heart beating fast. They reached a wide hall with high arches. Light flickered above them. He could see a large door at the far end. That way. He shouted. A heavy crash made them turn. The first guardian had caught up. Its massive form filled the hall behind them. Red eyes locked on Jason. He froze. For a moment, all he could do was stare. The woman stepped in front of him, her spear raised. Go, she said. Double quotes. No, he said. You can't fight that alone. Her red eyes glowed brighter. You think you can help me? He swallowed. I can try, he said. The guardian stepped closer, each footstep cracking the floor. The woman lifted her spear higher. Blue light spread along its shaft. When I attack, run for the door, she said. What about you? I will follow, she said. Before he could argue, she lunged forward. The spear stabbed into the guardian's chest. A bright explosion lit the hall. The blast threw Jason backward. He hit the floor hard, gasping. When he looked up, smoke filled the air. He could not see her. No, he whispered. He struggled to his feet. He stumbled through the smoke, searching. Where are you? He shouted. A sheik moved to his left. He turned, ready to fight. The woman stepped out of the smoke. Armor cracked, but still glowing. She was breathing hard. Move, she said. He nodded. They ran together toward the large door. Behind them, the guardian pulled itself up again. Half its head was gone, but it did not stop. It followed with slow, heavy steps. They reached the door. The woman pressed her hand to a round panel. Nothing happened. She tried again. Still nothing. The power is failing, she said. Can you force it open? He asked. She looked at him. Yes, she said. She stabbed her spear into the panel. Blue lightning shot out, racing along the edges of the door. The metal shuddered. Slowly. It began to rise. The guardian roared again, much closer now. Jason could see its red eyes through the smoke. He looked at the woman. Go, she shouted. He ducked under the rising door and turned back. Come on. She pulled her spear free and slipped under the door just as it slammed shut behind her. They stood in darkness, breathing hard. Only the blue glow of her armor lit the space. She looked at him. You should have run, she said. I told you, he said, voice low. I'm not leaving you. For the first time, her eyes softened. In the darkness behind them. The guardian slammed against the door. The walls shook. She looked toward the sound. We have to reach the control core, she said. Where is it? Below us, she whispered. He nodded. Then let's finish this, he said. Together, they walked into the dark, ready to face whatever waited below. The stand hall was dark and cold. Only the soft blue light from her armor showed the way. Commander Jason followed close behind her. His boots crunched on broken pieces of metal. Far above them, he could still hear the guardian hitting the door. The sound was slow, but steady. He knew it would not stop until it broke through. How far to the control core? He asked. 2 levels down, she said. Her voice was tight, like she was hiding pain. He looked at her armor. New cracks had formed along her shoulder and side. She was hurt, but she kept walking. They reached a stairwell. Metal steps spiraled down. In the darkness, she looked back at him. Stay close, she said. He nodded. They started down together. Halfway down, a loud noise made them freeze. A low growl echoed below them. She lifted her spear. Blue light danced across the blade. Another guardian, Jason whispered. Yes, she said. He felt his stomach tighten. Can we go around it? No, she said softly. It is waiting. He looked down the stairs but could see nothing. That we fight, he said. She turned her head slightly, studying his face. You are not afraid, she said. I am, he said. I just don't have time to show it. Her red eyes flickered. Then, she nodded. Double quotes. Good, she said. They reached the bottom of the stairs. A wide hall stretched ahead. In the middle of the floor stood the guardian. It was smaller than the first one, but its arms were long blades that scraped the ground. Its red eyes locked on them. It did not roar. It only waited. She stepped in front of Jason. Her voice was calm. When it attacks, move to the side, she said. What about you? I will hold it, she said. He looked at her damaged armor. You can't fight it alone. Her voice dropped to a whisper. I must. The guardian shifted, crouching low. Metal claws tapped against the floor. Then it charged. She ran forward. To meet it. Her spear flashed blue as it struck the creature's shoulder. Sparks burst into the dark. The Guardian swung one blade. It hit her side. Her armor cracked deeper. She gasped, but did not fall. Jason moved. He grabbed a broken metal rod from the floor. As the Guardian turned toward him, he swung with all his strength. The rod hit the side of the Guardian's head. It staggered. She saw her chance. She drove the spear into the creature's chest. The Guardian froze. Its red eyes flickered. Then the light went out. It fell to the ground. Still, she pulled the spear free and fell to one knee. Jason dropped the rod and ran to her side. He put his hand on her shoulder. "Are you hurt?" he asked. "Only tired," she said softly. He looked at the cracks in her armor. Blue light leaked out in small streams. "You can't keep fighting like this," he said. Her red eyes lifted to meet his. "I have no choice," she said. He shook his head. "You do," he said. For a long moment, she did not speak. Then she stood slowly. "Help me reach the control core," she said. "I will," he promised. They walked past the fallen Guardian. The hall ended at a large door covered in silver lines. She pressed her hand to the center. The lines glowed and shifted. The door opened with a deep side. Inside was a round chamber. A tall column of blue light rose from the floor to the ceiling. Floating symbols moved inside the light. She stepped forward. "The control core," she said quietly. Jason looked around. "Can you shut the Guardians down?" She did not answer right away. "Yes," she said at last. "But I must connect to the core." "What does that mean?" he asked. "My armor is linked to this place," she said. "If I connect, I can stop them. And what happens to you?" She turned her face away. "I don't know," she whispered. Jason felt cold inside. "There has to be another way," he said. "There is not," she said. He stepped closer. "Then let me help you." Her eyes closed. "You have already helped," she said, "more than you know." He reached out and took her hand. Her armor felt warm and alive. "I'm not leaving you," he said. Her eyes opened slowly. "Then stand with me," she whispered. The blue light in the core grew brighter. The ground shook again as the first Guardian struck the upper doors. Jason held her hand tighter. "We end this," he said. "Yes," she said. Together, the alien blue light from the control core grew brighter. The tall column pulsed like a giant heart. Commander Jason stood beside the alien woman. Her hand felt warm in his. Her red eyes glowed softly in the bright chamber. She turned to look at him. "When I connect," she said, "the Guardians will sense it and come here." He asked. "Yes," she whispered. He took a slow breath. "Then we stop them here," he said. She nodded once. Then she stepped forward. She lifted her hand and pressed her palm against the moving symbols. The blue light climbed up her arm. Her armor shifted and tightened around her body. Her eyes closed. Jason watched in silence. The light spread to her chest, her throat, her face. He could hear a low hum fill the room. She did not move. After a moment, her voice came, soft and distant. "I am inside," she said. "What do you see?" he asked. "Everything," she whispered. "The Guardians, the doors, the power lines. Can you stop them?" "Yes," she said. "But I must hold the link." A deep crash shook the walls. Dust rained from the ceiling. Jason looked at the door. He knew the first Guardian had found them. He moved to the entrance and picked up a broken spear from the floor. It felt heavy in his hands, but he lifted it anyway. He looked back at her. She stood still, covered in blue light. He could see her face now, calm and strong. "Do you trust me?" he asked. Her lips moved slightly. "I do," she whispered. The door shook again. Then it split open. The first Guardian stepped through. Its black body was covered in cracks. Red eyes burned bright as fire. It saw Jason and let out a roar. He did not step back. He gripped the spear tighter. "You will not pass," he said. The Guardian charged. Each step made the ground shake. Jason felt fear rise in his throat, but he forced it down. He had to protect her. He would not fail. He ran forward. The spear felt clumsy, but he aimed for the creature's chest. The point struck, but the spear cracked in his hands. The Guardian swung an arm. The blow hit Jason across the side. He flew into the wall and fell hard. Pain burned in his ribs. He tried to stand, but his legs were weak. The Guardian stepped over him. It reached for the woman standing in the light. "No," Jason gasped. He grabbed a metal rod from the floor. He crawled forward. The Guardian lifted its blade arm, but before it could strike, the woman's eyes opened. They were shining bright blue. Her voice filled the chamber, loud and clear. You will not harm him, she said. The guardian froze. Blue lines spread across its black armor. It struggled, but its arms locked in place. She raised her hand higher. The light grew blinding. The guardian let out a final roar. Then its body split apart in a burst of blue energy. Pieces fell to the floor. Smoking. Silence filled the chamber. Jason lay on the ground, breathing hard. He looked up at her. She stood like a statue in the light. Her face looked tired. He pushed himself to his feet, holding his side. He walked to her slowly. Are you all right? He asked. Her eyes opened a little. Yes, she whispered, but I'm growing weak. He rested a hand on her shoulder. Just hold on, he said. Her head turned toward him. There's one more step, she said. What is it? I must shut down the core, she said, but it will take all my power. What will happen to you? She looked away. I do not know, she whispered. He felt his throat tighten. There has to be another way, he said. There is not, she said softly. He took her hand in both of his. You are not alone, he said. Her eyes closed. Thank you, she whispered. The ground trembled again. Another guardian was coming. He knew there was no time left. Her voice grew stronger. When I release the core, you must run, she said. Double quotes. No, he said firmly. We stayed together. Her red eyes opened wide. Why, she asked. Because you trusted me, he said. For the first time, she smiled. Blue light covered her body again. She lifted her face to the core. It is time, she whispered. The choices chamber shook as the second guardian drew closer. Its heavy steps echoed in the halls. Commander Jason stood with the alien woman, her hand still in his. Blue light poured from the core into her body. Her armor shifted and shimmered. Like liquid. She looked up at the tall column of light. Her voice was calm, though her body trembled. Once I release the core, the guardians will shut down, she said. And you? Jason asked quietly. Her red eyes turned to him. I may not survive, she whispered. His chest felt tight. He squeezed her hand. I'm not leaving you, he said. Her eyes softened. You are stubborn, she said softly. I am human, he replied. The door behind them exploded open. The second guardian stepped inside. It was taller than the first, with long blade arms that scraped the floor. Red eyes locked onto them. It's coming, Jason said. Then you must go, she said. Double quotes. No, he said firmly. She looked at him in silence. Why? She asked. Because no one should die alone, he said. For a moment, she only watched him. Then she nodded once. Then stay, she whispered. The guardian stepped forward. Each footstep made the floor crack. Jason picked up a broken spear. He knew it would not be enough. But he raised it anyway. The woman lifted her hand toward the core. It is time, she said. Light wrapped around her fingers, then spread to her chest. Her armor glowed bright blue. The guardian charged. Jason threw himself in front of her. The creature's blade arm swung down, but before it struck, the woman's voice filled the chamber. Stop, she commanded. The light in her armor flared. Blue lines raced across the floor, up the guardian's legs, over his arms. The creature froze. Its red eyes flickered. She took a deep breath. Then she spoke again. Her voice strong and clear. Shut down. The guardian let out a low groan. Then the red lights in its eyes went dark. Its body fell forward and crashed to the ground. Silence filled the chamber. Jason stared at the smoking wreck. He looked back at her. You did it, he whispered. She did not answer. Her eyes were closed. Her face was pale. Hey, he said, stepping closer. Her head lowered slowly. Blue light still shone around her, but it was fading. Look at me, he said. Her eyes opened just a little. Is it over? She asked weakly. Yes, he said. You stopped them. A small smile touched her lips. Good, she whispered. Her knees bent. She started to fall. Jason dropped the spear and caught her. He held her in his arms. Her armor felt cold now. Stay with me, he said softly. Her eyes fluttered closed. I am so tired, she breathed. He felt something hot slip down his cheek. He realized he was crying. You can rest, he said, but don't go. Her head rested against his shoulder. Her voice was a whisper in his ear. I was afraid, she said. Me too, he whispered. But you came back, she said. Double quotes. I promised, he said. The blue light around her grew dimmer. He pressed his forehead against hers. You are not alone, he whispered. For a long moment, she did not move. Then her voice came, so soft he could barely hear. Thank you, she breathed. The last light faded. Her armor turned dark. He held her tight. Eyes closed. Dot outside the chamber. He heard voices. His team was coming, but he did not move. He stayed there, holding her, until the door opened. Lieutenant Maya stepped inside. She saw him and stopped. Her voice was gentle. Commander, she said. He did not look up. We're safe, she said. You did it. He opened his eyes. He looked at the woman in his arms. Even without the light, she looked strong. Tell command, he said quietly. We owe our lives to her. Maya nodded. Double quotes. What about you? She asked. He stood slowly, still holding the woman. I'm bringing her home, he said. They left the chamber together. The halls were quiet now. No more guardians waited. No more threats. As he stepped into the light of day, he felt something deep inside. Hope. He looked down at her peaceful face. You were wrong, he whispered. Humans don't always destroy, and for the first time in a long time, he felt like he had proved it.